guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So, this video has been highly requested since I did the first one. Which, as you can tell by the title of today's video, I will be doing a part 2 of picking my subscriber's next piercing. A lot of you are very interested in this. I thought there was a lot of interest with the last video I did. I think I got like 3 times the number of responses this time. Buckle in. So for today's video, I will be doing part 2 of picking my subscriber's next piercing. Now, there are a few things to keep in mind. One, I am only doing ears. From here on out, like for any of these videos, if I do a part 3, part 4, however, I will only be doing ears. I'm not gonna be looking at face. I'm not gonna be suggesting like navel piercings, nipple piercings, anything like that. Please don't send me your nipples. Please don't. I will only be looking at ears. It's just easier to do. It's better to just kind of like keep it to one area. You also have way more options when it comes to your ears. Second thing, usually these videos are not anonymous, so unless you tell me you want to be anonymous, I'm not gonna make you anonymous. So if at any point during this video, because it's a lot for me to go back and look right now, if at any point someone wants to be anonymous, I'll just bleep out their name in this video. And finally, if I don't get to you this time, because again, there are a lot of you, if I don't get to you this time, I will do a part 3 at some point and I will save your images for that one. I'm just going in the order that I received them. If you aren't in this one, you will be in the next one. Let's go ahead and get started because there are a lot of images for me to get through. So the first one we have is from Casey. Casey already has a ton of ear piercings, so I'm gonna have a little difficulty with this one. Starting off strong, just looking at these piercings and just like your whole setup, and I'm kind of envious of what you have going on. I definitely think you need something over on your left ear. You need something at the top. Now, you already have a vertical industrial, but I do think you need something up top. So whether that's just a plain old helix piercing or maybe even a double helix piercing, I think you need something going on the top part of your left ear. Next we have Amanda, and so the picture that we have is left ear. So I'm gonna say you definitely need something up top. You've got your duff, as well as some lobe piercings. So you definitely need something up top. And Amanda says that their right ear is full of piercings, so we don't need to look at that one. The left ear is the one we're gonna focus on. So I would say forward helix. I would just go right for the forward helix. I think you've got a ton of space to work with up there, so I would say a forward helix. Next we have Suzanne, and they send in a picture of the right ear. They have lobe piercings as well as a tragus piercing. I think you could pull off an industrial really well. Now, I did get this comment on the last one. Someone asked me why I didn't suggest industrial piercings for anyone, and that's a good point. I think it's primarily along the fact that I don't have one, so I'm not gonna like recommend someone else go get it, but that is fair. So if I think that you've got like the anatomy for it, because not every ear, I feel, has the anatomy for an industrial, but if I feel like you do, I'll recommend it this time. And so for Suzanne, I honestly think that an industrial would look really cool on your right ear. If you are not feeling going for the 2 piercing thing, because keep in mind, industrials are technically 2 piercings. If you're not feeling that, definitely a rook. Next we have Ronald. Ronald has both lobes pierced twice. You have a whole lot of open space that we can work with. I think on your left ear, a rook would be really cool looking. Next we have, they send a picture of both their ears. They have forward helix on their right ear as well as 2 lobes, and then on their left ear they have a lobe piercing. So I'm gonna focus on your left ear. I think you should get a duff. I think that would look really good. Yeah, you have less piercings on your left ear, so I did want to focus on that one. So I think a duff would be really cool. Next we have Elvina, who has quite a few piercings already. I'm gonna focus on your right ear. I feel like you need a forward helix. I think you've got a nice like empty space over there. I think a forward helix. Next is Katie. Katie sent a picture of both ears. Ooh, this one's a tough one. Just because I don't know how people feel about symmetry. So like on one hand, I want to recommend a tragus. On another hand, I want to recommend a conch, but like you already have that, so I don't know how you feel about having two of the same on opposite ears. I think on your left ear, you should get a mid helix. I don't know, I love the look of like a bunch of helixes. So like you already have one helix. I feel like a mid helix, and then maybe get another one in between the two at some point. I think that would look good. Next is Momo. Momo, I think you should go for a flat on your left ear. So in that space up here, that nice little flat upper cartilage area, I think you should go for a flat. I think that would look pretty cool. Next we have Kezi, who does say that they were supposed to get an outer conch last month, but we're in the lockdown in the UK. So I'm picking the one that they'll get after the outer conch. So I think on your left ear, you need a forward helix. I'm drawn to the forward helixes today. I don't know why, but I think that's what you should do, is a forward helix on your left ear. Next we have Kat, who has quite a few piercings already, but I think I've got something for you. You need a tragus, and I'm thinking that you need it on your left ear. Next we have Via, definitely needs something on the left ear, and I'm gonna say a conch, because like that's my one true love when it comes to ear piercings. You need a conch on your left ear. I always recommend conches if someone doesn't have one. Next up is Meg. Meg sent in a picture of their right ear. They have two lobe piercings and a conch piercing. Ooh, you need, I think you just need a tried and true helix piercing. I think kind of like diagonal to your conch based on this picture. It's kind of a weird angle, so it's hard to see, but I think a little diagonal to the conch, I think you need a helix. Next is Jamie. They sent in a picture of their right ear, and I would say conch. I just love conch piercings so much, and I just think everyone should have at least one. So I think you should get a conch. Next is Lisa. I'm definitely gonna focus on your right ear. Daith. Doth. I think that would fill in that space nicely, which is weird to hear me say about someone's ear, but that's where we are. So I think a Daith Doth would be really cool there. Next we have Carolyn, who already has a number of piercings, so I'm going to focus on your left ear and say tragus. Eileen is next, and I'm definitely zoned in on your left ear. You need something up top, and I think just a regular old helix. Just kind of like maybe diagonal to the forward helix that you have, and this like little area right there, I think you just need a regular old helix. Next is Demka. They say that they already love their right ear, so maybe not focus on that one, but on their left ear, they do have a fake conch. So it's fake, huh? I think you should go get the real thing so that you can stop wearing a fake one. Nothing wrong with the fake ones. That's kind of what I do when I'm trying to decide if I want to get a piercing or not. So I do think getting a fake piece of jewelry is a great way to kind of determine that. And I think a conch would look really good on you. I think you should get the real thing. Next is Chloe, and they sent in a picture of their right ear. Just have some regular old lobe piercings right now. I'm gonna recommend a rook. You need something higher up, and I think a rook is a good piece for that. Next is Anonymous. I did catch that one before we got into it. They sent in a picture of their left ear. They've got two lobe piercings and a nice little helix piercing. I think you should go for a tragus. Fill in that space in the center there. I think a tragus would look great. Next we have Sarah, who sent in a picture of both ears. I want to focus on your left ear, and I'm gonna say a Daith. Doth. Need something right there in the middle, because you've got, you've got two helixes, you've got three lobes. Piercings, you don't have three lobes, that's weird. You have three lobe piercings. I think you need a Daith Doth. Next we have Natalie. They sent in a picture of both ears. I definitely want to focus on your left ear. I think you should get a flat. I think a flat would look really cool, kind of not necessarily diagonal to your Daith Doth, but I think having something kind of like a line to it would look really good. You've got a nice space for the flat. I think over on your left ear, that's what you need, is a flat. Brock Lou is next. They sent in a picture of their left ear. They have two lobe piercings as well as a Daith Doth. I think you need a forward helix on that ear. So kind of just right above your Daith Doth. I think a forward helix would look pretty cool. And you've got like a good space in there so that if you wanted like a double forward helix, for the forward helixes, I'm not gonna recommend double, because like even myself didn't go for a double at one time, but I feel like that's one of those areas that you can build off of. So that's what I'm gonna recommend, is going for just one forward helix for right now. Next is Maddie. They sent in a picture of their right ear. I think an industrial. I think you've got like the good ear space based on this picture. Sometimes it's really hard to tell with angles, but I think based on this picture, you have the good space for an industrial. and I think it would look pretty killer. Next is Hanib. They sent a picture of both ears. They have 2 helix piercings on one ear and 2 helix piercings on the other ear. I think on your right ear, a tragus. You need a tragus. Next is Angie. Has 2 lobe piercings on their left ear. I know my left and my right. And quite a few over on the right ear. So I'm definitely gonna focus on your left ear, and I'm gonna say a rook. You need a rook in that space. Next up is Haley, who has quite a few piercings already. So this is another one where I'm just kind of like, what do I think? I'm gonna focus on your left ear because all of your piercings are on the outside. You need something on the inside. I'm gonna say it, here it comes. Forward helix. You need something over there. Like, you've got all of this stuff on the outside, you need something on the inside. Forward helix. Next is Rebecca. They sent in a picture of both ears, 4 lobe piercings on each, a helix on each, and a tragus on their left. So I'm gonna focus on the right ear and say a Daith. Next is Jennifer. They've sent in a picture of their right ear, and they have quite a few piercings that are starting to go up the side. I love the look of that. If I could, I would get all this outer area pierced. I think it looks so cool. So because of that, again, you need something in the middle there. You need something in the dead center of your ear. So I am going to say tragus. I think you need a tragus. Also, I love the fact that you have different stones. That's really cool. Next is Beatrice. They sent in a picture of their left ear. They have a rook, a helix, and 1 lobe. Ooh, so I'm gonna give you a twofer. I'm gonna say either get a 2nd lobe piercing or your conch. Because a lot of people that have submitted so far have had multiple lobe piercings, so I haven't really had to focus on that. But sometimes I also feel like people look at lobe piercings as lame, so I wanna give you 2 options. I think you should get a 2nd lobe piercing or a conch piercing. Lucky you got 2 options. Next up is Irene. They have 3 lobe piercings in both ears and a tragus in their left. So I'm gonna focus on your right ear and say a rook. I'd go for a rook. You have a nice space in your ear. Again, that sounds so weird when I say it, but it's true. I'd go for a rook. Next is Kayla. They sent in a picture of their right ear, and I'm gonna say a mid helix. Go a little bit down from that helix you already have and get a mid helix, kind of like in line with your Daith or Duff. I think that would look pretty cool. Especially with like the dainty jewelry that you have going on, the very simple jewelry, I think that would look killer. Next we have Eva. And Eva, do you have piercings? I see 1 lobe piercing, but do you have anything? Are you just like an open canvas? Because if that's the case, oh boy, I don't even know. It's kind of hard when you don't have something already. It's just like, ooh, blank space. What do I go with? But I'm gonna say it. Y'all know I love this piercing. Conch. Go for a conch. I think that conch is always what I'm gonna recommend to people if they don't already have one. Next up is Abby, who already has quite a few piercings going on, and I love how everything meshes together with that green. So looking at your ears, you definitely need more over on your left ear. I'm just like fascinated by your jewelry right now. I also love that the helix one that you have on your left ear is like an outer helix. I think, my goodness, I don't even know. Could you get an industrial in there? Like, because the helix is on top, could you get an industrial to go through? Because that would look pretty rad. But if not, I'm going to say just maybe some more regular helix ones, because you don't have too many like just regular old helix piercings. So if an industrial wouldn't work in that space, I think just a regular old helix piercing, like kind of diagonal with the tragus piercing that you have. Yeah. Next we have Selena. They have quite a few piercings. Ooh, both of your ears need something like in the dead center. So I think you need a tragus on your left ear. That's where I'd start. You need something in the dead center of both ears, but I'd start with a tragus on your left ear. And the last one that I'm gonna get to is Will. I would say, oh my goodness, this one's tough. I'm gonna give you a twofer as well, because you've got a lot of vacant space. I'm gonna give you a twofer. So I am looking primarily at your left ear. I'd say either a rook or an industrial. I think you have good ear structure up here. It's gonna sound weird every single time I say something like that. I know it. I think you have good ear structure for an industrial, but if you're not feeling that, I think a rook. So 2 options. And that is it for part 2 of picking my subscribers' next piercing. Hopefully everyone is happy with the suggestions that I give. Again, these are suggestions. These are not telling me you need to get this. This is just what I think would look cool. Thank you to everyone who submitted. I really appreciate it. It makes it kind of fun. This is a long one because it takes forever to get the pictures into the video, but whatever, it's worth it. It's cool. Let me know in the comments below if you do want to see a part 3, like if you missed out on part 2. Let me know Maybe I'll do a part 3. It may take me another 2 months to get to it, but if there's enough interest, I will do another part to this series. Special thank you to my patrons. You can help support the channel on Patreon while having access to videos early, viewing patron-only content, and more. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button, wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys!